And Elena's score 9.70 on bars. Now 17-year-old Elena Piskun from Belarus. She is the only gymnast here that's finished in the top 10 in the last World Championships. In fact, she's been in the top 10 the last 3 World all-round competitions, but having her problems here in Georgia.
Tom, she's had huge problems. She's been ill all week long. She's had a lot of trouble in practice getting through any of her routines, not to mention a growing pull on her leg. And you can see here, tough time on one of her best apparatus.
Big step on her first vault.
You can see she is just not happy today. That is a huge test for her with that growing pull. She was the 93 world champion on this event. One thing I admire about Yelena is she goes after it all. She throws some of the most difficult skills on all the events, including this vault, double twisting Yurchenko. It's worth a 10, but she's not going to get anything close to that today.
In fact, her score 9.425. Disappointing beginning. Here's her second vault. That was better.
A huge improvement, Tom, on the second vault. She got a lot more height and lift off the horse, completing that twist fairly easily. Again, both vaults are averaged.
Second vault score 9.625 and the combined score 9.525.
The next competitor on vault.
Now on vault, Mohini Bhardwaj.
Tom, this is Mohini's best apparatus. She has a chance to do extremely well on the vault. She's planning to do a 1.5 twist Yurchenko. It's scored out of a 10.0. Very few women today are completing vaults that are worth the maximum value. Nice job. It had height, it had distance, it was clean. Just a hop on the landing. That's the only area she can improve on with the second vault.
There's her coach, Alexandrov. They seem pleased with that first vault.
He has to be pleased with her technique. Obviously, the move to Houston has been a good one for Mohini. Nice, clean lines. Look at her height and distance from the horse. It's a blind landing, very difficult to stick a vault like this.
First vault, 9.762. So Mohini given a chance to compete here in international competition. Doing well so far.
Wow, she even gave it a little bit more on the second. She didn't need to. She should have opened up a slight bit earlier. She is so aggressive. She has to learn how to control that in order to stick the landing. Awesome looking vaults, both vaults. I have to give it to her. She is looking fantastic, really taking advantage of the competition today. Look at the tight twist in the air, opens up a little bit too late.
Mohini's second vault score is 9.712 and the combined score best yet in the vault. She's the grande dame of the gymnastics world. Away from the sport for 2.5 years, but she couldn't stay away. Svetlana Boginskaya. She has seen her training partner Mohini Bhardwaj begin with a flourish. Now will the veteran take inspiration from the novice? We're back in Atlanta where the Belarusian swan Svetlana Boginskaya chalks up for her routine on bars. Like many gymnastics competitors, she began her career as a figure skater before graduating to the gym.
Tom, still to this day, she really commands my attention. There's something about her presence out there in the international arena, just the way she salutes to those judges.
Ooh, did her foot hit the other bar?
That hurts. That's a slight deduction. The bars are very wide in international competition today. She's only about 5 feet 4 inches tall.
In fact, she had wanted to be a fashion model, but she says she never grew tall enough. After Barcelona, she was out of gymnastics for 2.5 years. Then, 94, she watched Katarina Witt with her Olympic comeback in Lillehammer. Realized that she had not gotten gymnastics out of her system, approached Bella Caroli, said she wanted to come to the U.S. and train under him, and has since moved with Alexandrov to Houston to train.
Interestingly enough, this used to be one of her weak events prior to Barcelona, but she performed extremely well with the exception of the tap on the low bar. That hurts, but it certainly didn't disrupt her dismount. Beautiful double layout. Now, even though the bars are extremely wide today, you can see the extreme pike. That's the disadvantage for an athlete who's 5'4".
And that cost her her score 9.637. So the first two events for Svetlana have been subpar, as you see her in front of her former teammate Rosa Galieva. Now from the up-and-coming French team, here's Elvire Teza on vault. And under the influence of Chinese coaches, the French have become a force.
Tom, this team has made incredible strides. I was at the World Championships just a few months ago in Sabai. They placed 6th as a team, and this is one athlete who has helped that team to that 6th-place finish.
Ooh, a flop on her first vault.
Very, very weak and quite a surprise. She certainly didn't do this at the World Championships.
Elvire lives in Marseille, born in Reunion Island, the home of Surya Bonalé, the European champion French skater.
You know, she really didn't have a whole lot of power on this vault, didn't get a lot of height. You can see no bump off the horse, stretches it out almost too long, and of course takes a huge deduction.
8.775, as a matter of fact, her score. Hoping for better on her second vault.
Much better second vault. She obviously stood it up. We'll get back that 0.5 deduction she suffered on the first vault, but really not aggressive, not powerful, quite weak actually. But again, does her best to avoid that deduction.
Second vault, 9.312, better than the first. The combined score, though, only 9.043. Next, Elena Piskun from Belarus. We talked about her problems that she's had, injury-wise, sickness-wise, here in Atlanta. To add to that, look at that on her forehead. She burned herself with a curling iron. You talk about things that have gone bad.
This bar routine should be a piece of cake. Here's an athlete who has some pretty extreme conditions to train in at home. Her vault isn't even as long as the regulation length for international competitions, so she struggles with that. The floor exercise, they can't even put out a full 40x40 floor exercise mat. It's amazing how she can adapt in international competition. Quite an athlete.
And contrast that to her teammate Svetlana Boginskaya, who trains in relative luxury in Houston.
Fantastic routine, Tom. Just fantastic.